Hello everyone, this is Professor Kent and today's recording is second part of lesson 18. Under lesson 18 part 1, I showed you how to create an opening batch and post all the opening balances in the AR and how to delete that batch in GL. And then also I showed you how to create invoices, but I was only able to show you the first invoice that I created. Now we're going to go back and create all the other invoices that we needed to do for the chapter 18. So for chapter 8, we're going to start with it. If you remember from where I left off with in my last video, if I wanted to know how many entries I did, I'm going to go back and find the batch that I did, which was batch number 2. If I go here, go to the right, I know there was only one entry I did. So I'm going to pick up the same batch and then I'm going to select it, and this is the first invoice entry I did. So this was the first one, and now what we wanted to do is we wanted to create the second one. And if you're following my video, it's on we're on exercise 18:11 for lesson 1. So we're going to create the next one. I am going to create a new, and it's an item because we're creating an invoice. In this case, the name of the customer is National Electric 1014. The customer number will be, we're going to select which customer number it is. It's 1150. So let's do that, 1150, and we go forward and we will do our invoice is the same. The date on the invoice is February, this month of February, and February 3rd. So I select that, and then what we're going to do is we are going to go to the invoice. The invoice number is 1014, and we have a PO number for this in this invoice, 85623. Now we're going to go to the first line, and what did they order? They ordered 1070. We select it. How many we tab it over to see what quantity they ordered. In this case, they ordered 10 items for this. We go to the next line. If it doesn't go to the next line, then you have to press the insert button. So then we go to the next line. We double click to see the next quantity is 52C1. We select it and tab it over to put it in the quantity. The quantity is 5, and then we tab it over to the next line. And then my third line will be for the next product that we have, which is your RS10. I select that and then I tab it over, and then I go to how many items they ordered, 5 of them. And then what I want to do is I will go to my next one. It's going to calculate the taxes by itself. If you look at it, it's 18915. That's the interior taxes. The term on this is the term on the invoice is they did not tell us the term of the invoice. In this case, the term is 2. So in this case, if the term is 2, we're going to select here. This is your term code is 2. So we select it. We go to the sales split. It's a 75. We originally had 75-25, but somehow we wanted to change it. As long as both are equal to 100, we should be okay. We go to the total, check the total. Which is correct, everything is right. So now what I want to do is I want to come to the first page and I add it. So that's the first one we're going to do, and let's do the next invoice. I'm going to add it, and I'm going to go to the right and I'm going to add it for Lang machinery, and it is 1015. The customer number is 1120, and then we tab it over to the invoice. The date of the invoice is February 10th. Tab it over. The invoice number they told us, the document number is 1015, and the PO number is 19735. And then what we go to, we're going to go to the item. In this case, the item is PR150. So PR150. So we select it. Then we go to the quantity. In this case, they ordered one quantity, and we are going to go to the taxes. They are going to calculate it. They calculated 682, and we wanted to know the HST code is 1. This is the 1, and then the terms are installment. I'm going to change that to installment. We select it, then go to the split. Who is this person? JS. Now if I go to my totals, I have 5250, and we're going to owe them they owe us 5,930. I go to the document and I add it, and you get an error message, not error message, you get a warning saying that the credit check, we sold them more, which is, we accept that, we close it, and we do the next one. So in this case, my next one I'm going to do is for National Electric. And the customer number is 1140. Then go to the next one. We have two customers. One is 1140, which is National Electric. 1150 is National National Electric, but there's two vendors with the one is with the customer number 1150, the other one is customer number 1140. Previously I thought I created both two different ones, but no, I did not do that. So let's check the invoice, which is this month, and on the 13th. The document number here is A4652, and then we have to see what is the PO number. In this case, there is no PO number. What they order from us is PB50. So we're going to go to PB50. We select it, and you tab it over. How much is the quantity? The quantity is 10. Then go to the next line. You tab it over to go to the next line. If it doesn't go, then you have to go and press the insert button. So you have to press the insert button to go to the next line. So select it, and then next one we order, they order PB75, and the quantity is 15. We tab it over to go to the next one. Again, if it doesn't go, then you have to do the insert button. And then the next item they order is RS10. We select it, we tab it over, and how many items? 5 items. So then we go to the taxes. The taxes are BC, which we did that. If you look at it, for goods service tax is 1, your British PST tax bill is 2 for this customer. Then we go to the terms. The terms are 2. We change it to the 2. And then we go to the split. The split is between Jamie and AB, which is good. Let's go to the total to see if our amounts are right. If you look at the amounts are not right, that means that we go back to the first one. If you look at the first one, the price we have is $950, and what the price we wanted to charge them is $960. So now if I go back to the total, you will get, if I go back to the total, I should have the 1350, and if I, this one also I needed to change. So one price of one is more than the other one, so we wanted to check the unit price all the time so that our totals are right. So in this case, our totals are right the way it is. So plus taxes is 54. In this case, there is no discount. In this case, they're giving us the discount. We're going to go back to the term. The term should be 2. In this case, if you pay within the date, you will get a 2% discount. I just wanted to go back and check the date, document date, if I did it right. In this case, I did it right. So everything is, amount is right. So if you pay within that time frame, we will get that discount. So the part you needed to remember is the document total, which is 1153.43 if you pay within the time. And I'm going to go to the document, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to the term is net 30. Sorry, term is net 30. That's why the discount was coming. Term is net 30. There's no discount for them, but we can always come back and check it if we don't collect the right codes. So I'm going to add it. Going to go to the next one. My next one is I add it, close it, and my next one is for US metal, and it is 1017. And the customer is 1160, and we tab it over and we check the invoice date, which is this month's 10th. The invoice number is J46291, and then we have a 107. So this was my PO number, and my invoice number is 1017. I go to my item number 1 to see what item they ordered. In this case, they ordered PR150. So I am going to PR150. We select it, tab it over. The quantity here is 1. We tab it over. They also ordered another item, which is your PN. So double click PN. Sorry, I'm still fighting with a cold. PN 26. I think I added a 1 less 6, which is okay. Let's see if this is the invoice. Yes, that's correct. The item is 1. The only thing is when I entered the item number, I missed a 6 when I was doing it. You can understand I'm not feeling well, so I'm trying to do this as we go. We have a US taxes. The terms are installment, which is good, and the sales split is for the in this case the it's not KC anymore, it is JS, and that's 100%. We select it. I go to the total to check it, which is everything is right. I come back to the first one and I add it. Now I'm going to create one more, and then we add it. This hopefully is the last one. If it's not, we keep entering as we go. In this case, it says National Electric, and it's 1018, and the customer number here is 1140, and the I'm going to tab it over. It's an invoice, and the date on the invoice is February 11th. So February 11th is the date. The document number here is 1018. And we are going to go to where we're going to go to the item number. Once you go to the item number, you select the item number. We tab it over, and the unit they order was 5 of them, and the unit they order was 5. The price they order was 92. The price we're giving them a special price 96. I go to my taxes. My taxes are GST and 1, and BCPST is 2. I go to my terms. My terms are 30. And go to sales split. They did not tell us the sales split, so you will review the invoice total after you enter a prepayment received from the customer. So what we wanted to do is now we check the total. So in this case, there's a taxes they owe us 483. So I'm going to come back to this one now. If I wanted to do this, I have to add it first in order for me to save as a as a prepayment. Now, if you look at it, I wanted to make a prepayment on the previous invoice that I posted. I'm gonna go back. This is, you have to add it in order to come with a payment, just like the way we did it in AP. Now we have a prepay at the bottom. We're gonna do a click prepay, and then what we're going to do is we are going to add new for this one. So you're going to add a new for this one, and then we're going to type prepayment. In this case, it's a prepayment for February 15. You have to save you have to add the invoice for that customer in order to make a prepayment. In this case, if we're is where we're depositing the money, we're depositing in a TD check, and then what we wanted to do is we wanted to check the prepayment is a check, and then the receipt amount they are paying us $200 a deposit. They're paying a $200 a deposit to us. And when are they making this deposit? They're making it on the 15th. We have everything the way we have it, and we have a check or receipt number. We're going to enter that. It is 6221. So that's 6221. That's the check number. And then the entry description will be prepayment for it. Payment for an invoice number 1018. And what we wanted to do here, once we wanted to do is we wanted to add the prepayment. So it's the same what we did in our previous AP session. What we did is the prepayments. Now, if I were to, I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the add button because we wanted to add this payment, and then we wanted to see, I'm going to show you because they owed us $483. If I add it, now if you look at it, the document total was $483. The amount due is $283. That means they made a payment of $200. So the amount owed is $283. So this is how we do the prepayment. So in this case, we have done the prepayments. You can also look at this to the Zoom to see it more if you wanted to, but no need for that. That's what the exercise 1811 is telling you to do a Zoom, but we don't need to worry about it. I don't need to save anything. If you make a change here, you can make the save, but if you didn't make any change, all I have to do is we have to close it. And what we wanted to do, we wanted to create a new batch for some more invoices we're entering. So in this case, I'm going to save it here. And I'm going to close it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to close this batch, and I'm going to create a new batch. And the new batch, in this case, we are going to go to the batch. So in this case, we are creating a new batch. Let's do that. And at the bottom, we're going to create a new batch, and then it's going to be new. And then the batch description is, we wanted to call it February invoices for February. In other words, we're showing you how to create different batches and how to post all the batches at the end. So you could post them as you go, or you could post them when the system is the book is asking you to post. The batch date is February 18, so I select the 18, and then what we wanted to do is, in this case, it's an item. We're selling it to Mr. James, and it's 1019, and the customer number is 1100, and then we tab it over, and the invoice will be, your document number is my 1019, and then what we sold them, there's no PO number, so what we sold them is the item number PB50. we sold them. PB50, we select it, we go forward. How many items? We sold them 5 items. The price is $9.60 that we are charging them. And we go to the next line. If it doesn't go to the next line, again you have to do the insert button, select it. 52C1, we select it and go forward. And what we're doing here is we're selling them the 10 items. The price is 98. We are good to go. We go to the next one. We have a next invoice. The next invoice is PB75. We select it. In this case, how many items? The items are 10 and $13.50. We go forward, we look at our taxes, and the taxes are Ontario, and the term is 30, which is good. We go to sales split. Split is between AB and JS, and this is 50. I'm going to give it to the next. If it doesn't go to the next one, you have to do the insert button and select the next salesperson, which is AB, and that will be your 50. And then I will go back to my totals, which is right number. So I go to the first one, I add it. Now I'm going to enter the next invoice. We are going to do for Lang Machinery. This is just a good practice for you to enter them, just so you could do it fast for the test purpose, that you won't spend too much. You are aware of where everything is. So in this case, the date is 18, which is good, and the invoice number is 1020, and my PO number is 20411, and they ordered item PN 26. We select it, we tab it over. The quantity they order was 1. We go to the taxes. The taxes is Ontario. The term is 2, which is good. We go to sales split, which is GS, and now we wanted to go to the total, and this is right, and there's a discount. I go to the first line, first tab, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to add it. Now when you're adding it, we have 2 invoices here, and if I wanted to, I have to add it to see it. So let's add it. We close it. Now we have 2 invoices. If you look at it, you have to click on the zoom icon. This will tell you that is on page 1811 exercise, step number 64. This is your 64, the step number 64. This is where it is. What we wanted to do is we wanted to close it, and we wanted to close this. Now what we wanted to do is we wanted to print the invoice batch listing report for batch number 2 and batch number 3. So how we're going to do is, because we know that we were shown how to do the printing. You have shown it for the previous one when you did 18.3, how to print the batches and how to do that. So in other words, if I were to you know how to print them, because you just click on the ones that you wanted to print. So the first one is opening balance. That one is already it's already posted, because we already posted that one. That was printed and posted. These 2 are not printed and posted. What you could want to do is you wanted to print them, and then when you print them, you could select each one. I did not. I'm going to go make my print to a preview. I always forget. That should be the first thing you should do, is to change it to print, but then sometimes you have to come back and do it again. It just becomes a thing. So in this case, you're going to print it. So in this case, I wanted to print this. Okay, It just takes a little longer. When you do that, we have more than one pages, we have more than one journal entries. We close it, and then I wanted to go to my next one, and I wanted to print that too. And once you print it, of course you could save it if the test is asking you to save it, but I am not going to save it. I'm not in the test mode. I'm not printing it. I'm just printing it to show you if you're asked to print. Now if you look at it, it will change the print to that we have it. Now what we wanted to do is we wanted to post these 2 batches. So how you're going to do it, no needs to be changed into a yes in order for us to post it. No has to be changed into yes. So I say ready to post, and I can just say post all to post both of the batches. You could do one by one. You could do that. I'm just going to do is post all. Or you could do a single by single, and in this case I just posted all the batches. So you have done posted all the batches. So now if I wanted to print, now I'm going to close it. I'm going to close it for the test purpose. If you are asked to print the batch has to be posted first in order for you to print the posting journal. So this is where you go to get your posting journal. And what we wanted to do is we wanted the posting journal 1 to 2, and what we wanted is an invoice I wanted to print, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to view it. It's just going to take a little longer. And these are my invoices. So there's more than 1 pages. When you have a plus here, that means there's more than 1 page. You can go to the first page. Your debits and credit has to be equal when you're doing these things. So what you could do is you can print it and then go to the next page if you wanted to do that. We close it. Now if I wanted to print all the invoices that we created, you can double click on the invoices, and you can also print the invoices all in one go. You can print all the invoices in one go. So that's how you will do invoices in one go. So in this case, if you look at it, we have more than 1 invoices. You could go to the next one, and then that will be for the next customer. There's 24 of them. So you can print all of them, but we don't want to print them because at the end of the day, we don't want to sit here and print 24 of them. Posting journal will do the same thing, but if you are in a real life, you will be printing those invoices and you will be sending it to your customer. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to my AR. And then now what I'm going to do is we are going to show you how to do a debit memo and a credit memo. So that's where we wanted to show you how to do a debit memo and a credit memo. What we're going to do is we are going to go to transactions, and we are going to click on the invoice entry. We're going to double click it, and we are going to add a new one because this is our new one, and we are doing a credit notes or debit notes. The description of this batch will be a credit note. Credit note, when are we creating this? We're creating it on the last day, which is today, and this is our first one, and we're going to select the item, and then we wanted to know what are we doing, who are we doing it for in this case, and we wanted to say the customer returned because the items we sold them, it was damaged items returns. In other words, it is a return. You're doing a sales return. Which customer returned it? 1100. And we are going to go here, and then what we're going to do is from the invoice, we could have a debit note or a credit note. In this case, it's a credit note, and the document number will be, we wanted to call it credit note, and the number of that credit note is 250. And the date is right. What we wanted to do is if you wanted to do this, this is the. And what we wanted to do is this is the document number, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to type apply it to an invoice, the invoice batch has to be posted first in order for us to apply it. We're going to apply to 1019. If you don't see this, that means your invoice batch wasn't posted. That's why you wouldn't see it. So I select on the 1019. That's what we wanted to apply to. And what we wanted to do is now we wanted to go to line 1 and what did they return to us. So we're going to select the product they returned, 52C. What they return, and they are returned of 1 item, and the quantity is 90, the price is 98, and we go to the taxes are 1, which is good. Then we go to our total tab. We don't need to worry about this sales split. We go to there, it is 98.12 cents debit code. Now what we did is I'm going to come back here and the click on the add button. I added. Now the question is saying you could do the zoom button to see your entry. So in this case, if you look at it, it is a negative. If it's a credit note, it will be a negative. If it's a debit note, this entry will be a positive. Debit is we're charging them. Credit is where they're returning to us. What we wanted to do is, now we have done the entry, what we're going to do is we are going to post this batch. Now we are going to close it and we are going to come back here and we are going to this is my credit note batch. Of course you needed to print it first before you can make it post it. Let's do that. Print it. I'm just going to say print. Now this is the batch that we did a return, and that's a minus. So we close that. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to post it. When you post it, you have to make it ready and then you can post it. So we have done the posting. Now again, you could always go back to your report to see the posting journal, and from there you could do it under the posting journal you could see it. If I were to do that, you will see it. There is a credit note will be there if you do that. It will print everything, or you could just print one. In this case, we did that. If you look at it, the original invoice, we sold it to them and the inventory has gone back. So that's how much they owe us, $283.48. That's what the sequence is. So I'm going to close it. Now the next one is, I'm going to close this too. And the next one, what we're doing is we are going to go to our recurring transactions. So that's where we wanted to go to, our recurring transactions. Some customer, there will be a recurring entry. So then what you're going to do is you're going to go to your customers. In this case, you are going to double click on the customers. So we wanted to, some customers, there will be a recurring transaction, some won't be a recurring transaction. So we wanted to do is we wanted to set up the recurring batch. You will use this in lesson 21, but in this course we're not covering chapter 21. So if we're not covering 21, I don't want to show you the recurring transaction, but if you want to see it, I could show you how to do it. But in this class, we're not teaching recurring transactions for accounts receivable. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to set up a recurring charges. The recurring charges are done in the customer. So if you double click on it, you will be setting up here. If you look at it, there's on the customers, there's no recurring charges that is coming up. If it's not coming up, that means we did not select it when we set up the accounts receivable. So you're going to go to AR, you're going to go to the options. Once you go to the options, you're going to go to the processing and you're going to click on the recurring charges. And what we want to do is we wanted to save it. You have to make this change before you can come back to do this. Now we're going to go back to the customers. We should have an icon for recurring So now I still don't see it. If you don't see it, what you have to do is the other thing you could do is you could close this file. Let's close it and open it back in. And sometimes that does the magic. Let's do that. We say, okay, I hope it, now if you look at it, it does show up now. Sometimes it comes up automatically when you do that. Sometimes it doesn't come. If it doesn't come, just close the company and then reopen the company. So now the recurring charges is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to create two of them. And then the first one we wanted to do is machine rental. That's what the first one is. That's the code. Machine, no space, rental. And then we tab it. The customer is 1120, and then we are going to tab it, and it is, then you want to enter the description. Description doesn't come live till you select the customer number. So it's a rental, and we wanted to code will be, is it monthly? Yes, we are going to do monthly, and then we accept everything. And then what we're going to do is the start date and the expiry date, you could have it on a specific date. Select the specific date you want. Let's do that. Start date, we are gonna go here. So in this case, the start date is 02/28, and this is the date. The expiry date, we wanted to pick up a specific date, and what we wanted to do is we wanted to end at the end of the year. So we wanted this to recur every month till the end of the year. So we're going to go to the 31st. That's when it's going to end, and we're going to, in this case, what we wanted to do is we wanted to go to the next one under the term. We are going to go to the term, and we're going to select the 30, and then we're going to go to our detail where we're entering it. We're going to enter it here. So in this case, we are going to enter the recurring charges. So in this case, what we're going to do is we have to create two falling accounts in order to create these ones. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to create it. If I look at it, I don't have anything in here for the accounts. So if I don't have any accounts, what we needed to do is we have to close it then or minimize it. I'm going to go back to my GL ledger, and then I'm going to go to my accounts, and I'm going to create an account. And my first account I'm creating is 4505 100, and we go to the tab. It is for my machine rental revenue, and that is of course it is a division account, and it is a normal balance. In this case, it's a credit balance for this one. It's an income statement account, and the code here is 15 that we wanted to create. And then we're going to add it, and we're going to add a next one, which save it, and then we're going to add a new one. My new one is 4505 200. We select it, and the description will be machine rental income, and we have a division. We select it. It's an income statement account. It's a revenue account, and it's a 15, and we are going to add it. Now we close it. Now we go back to where we were. In this case, we were in the recurring transaction. We don't have to come back here. You could double click at the bottom of your screen. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to return to the end. We wanted to come here, and then we are going to do click on the summary. When we click on the summary, it is looking for the first one. It is looking for the revenue account. If it's looking for the revenue account, we're going to select the one we just did. So you could just add it, or we could just find it from the list. In this case, it's 4505 and it is 100. We select that. You can even enlarge the screen to see it better. So in this case, the amount here is 750, and we are going to accept, and we're going to go to the split. And the split, there's no split for this. We wanted to delete it. We wanted to delete, just hit the delete button. That should delete it, and it will say you want to delete it. Yes, we wanted to delete it. Then we click on the taxes. In this case, we are going to accept the Ontario. That's because this customer is from Ontario, and what we have is the tax amount is 9750. The amount was the total amount is this. So what we're going to do is I like to minimize it, so we are going to add it. We did this, now we add it. Now we're going to add the next one, and save it. Now we're going to add another one for another customer. You're going to do new. We're going to do new. So in this case, we are going to have a machine rental. And then it is for 1160, and then when you tab it, it automatically becomes available. Machine rentals. The code is monthly. We select it. The date in this case is 20, and then we're going to go the expiry date. We want to pick a specific date, and that date we wanted to do is we wanted to end at August 31st. So in this case, we have to go to August, and we wanted to do August 31st. The term is a 30. We select the term, and then we go to the details. Under the details, first we're going to click on the summary, and then we're going to pick the other revenue account that the system is asking us to do. In this case, it's 4505 200. 4505 200. So we select that, and the amount for that is 2800. We select that. We go to my sales split. There's no sales commission for this. We delete it. You select the delete button and say yes. And then we go to my tax total. This is a US. Enter the US is 1. There's no code for this one. So once we did that, what we're going to do is we are going to add this one. So I'm going to add it, and we are going to close this. Once you've done that, we add it. Now we could do is we can look at customer inquiry icon. Let's do that. If you wanted to do an inquiry, the first one that we did was 1120, but we want to inquire not that customer, a different customer. So in this case, you can pick the customer that you want to inquire about. In this case, your boss will be doing this, and this is the inquiry button for this person, for this customer. So this is the inquiry button will display. So you can check the status of a lot of things here. You can do the documents, you can do the address, you could do the receipts, whatever you want to do. You could check here the credit status. Anything you wanted to check, you will be checking for this customer. So if I wanted to do a credit status, this is the credit status. It tells you how the outstanding invoices, their credit limit, how much more we can sell it. This is the information that you can select from this tab. So in this case, you can inquire about a particular customer. You could do that, and then you could also go into, if you wanted a specific one, you wanted to go what you sold it to them. you could do that too. So this is, if I go to the document, if I select a specific one, I can double click it to see what I sold it to them, and these are who the customer was, what was the amount, which batch entry is it, and so forth. So this is where you can collect the information for a specific customer. Was an open batch, or did we do an entry for 1019? I can double click it, so it will tell you what we sold it to them and everything else. So this is just if you wanted to do an inquiry. So in this case, we don't need to do an inquiry, and this is, I am done with it. Now, once we finish doing it, what you could do is you are going to post. What you needed to do is you needed to print, and what you're printing is, you're printing 2 reports here. You're printing the posting journal. So again, I'm going to close here, and remember we closed it and then we opened the file. I'm going to make my printer to be a preview. It is already a preview. If I wanted to print the posting journal, so where I'm going to go to the posting journal, and I'm going to double click it. And then I'm going to print, and there's going to be a lot of pages. That's what you're going to be printing. It takes a little longer. So sometimes when you go to the posting, AR posting journal, we have a posting sequence 1 and 3. If I go to the print and see, I wanted to hand it in. We did a lot of invoices. We did. Now, if it comes up here, what it does is, when it does it, it comes up here. It doesn't give you any report. That means it could be that we maybe previously printed it. If I wanted to print it again, let's do that. I come back and I said reprint the previously printed journals. Of course, the system is saying that, are you sure you want to print this? So if I go back here, and then it will show me all the journals that I want to print. So if it doesn't show once, if you already printed it before, then it will not, you needed to reprint them. So I'm going to close it, and I'm going to save it. And the other one I wanted to do is, you can do an aging report, and then that you could do it under the, you could do whatever the question, whatever the question is asking you to do it, you could do the report. You could do the transaction report. They will be in here. Posting journals are all going to be in here. You can also do an age trial balance. You could also the setup reports, you could do that on here. If you wanted to do the customer report, you could do it in here. So you could print the customers. If you're printing the customer, again, you will be clicking on the profile. If I asked you to print the recurring charges, you're going to be clicking on the recurring charges. So whatever the question asks you to do, that's what you're going to be doing. When you're printing it, just to make sure when you're asking you to do a report, you will go under the report. If I wanted to do the report, the age trial balance, in this case, what you could do is they're asking you which date you wanted to do it. In this case, if I wanted to do is, let's say if I wanted to do is as of 15th, if I wanted to do that, just for instance, if I wanted to do that, I'm going to do it. This is the age trial balance report. I am going to go here. It will give you the age report, the current due, the invoices that are due within 30 days, 60 days, 61 to 90 days. So those are the customer, in other words, aged report. This is where the age report is. Thank you so much for listening. We're done with chapter 18. Make sure you watch both videos. This is the part 1 and part 2. I continue with the invoices and the credit note, the prepayment and the recurring charges in the second second one. Thank you for listening to me again. If you have any questions, send me an email or reply to this video. Thank you.